Hey everyone, it's Michael Groff here to talk to you about your roof. With an active monsoon season expected this year, you need a name you can trust, and that's why you should call Blackstone Roofing Group for all of your roofing needs. Call for your free inspection today. Big or small, they do it all. Tile, shingle, or flat roofing, they can help. Offering free inspections and more. Roofing made easy. Call 602-536-9363 or visit blackstoneroofinggroup.com to schedule your free inspection today. And if you tell them Michael Groff sent you, they'll take $500 off the price of your roof replacement. Again, that's 602-536-9363 or blackstoneroofinggroup.com. It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Tuesday, the 1st of July. I'm Michael Groff. When you look outside this morning, I'm guessing you weren't expecting to see this. We've got some gusty winds and some blowing dust across the valley to begin this day. Yeah, it kind of looks like the monsoon is coming on in, doesn't it? And yes, we will expect to see another round of showers and thunderstorms firing up across east central and southeast Arizona this afternoon and this evening. And as you probably saw in the thumbnail, gusty winds and blowing dust are expected in the valley again later today. But what about some rain chances? I mean, if we're going to see all these gusty winds and the blowing dust and the higher humidity levels, it would be nice to get some rain, right? Well, we'll talk about that, plus temperatures and that forecast for the 4th of July and so much more as we dive on in. First, the almanac from yesterday. Yeah, it was a record breaker. 116 degrees was the afternoon high, breaking the previous record of 115 set in 2013. That morning low of 90 degrees, that was not quite a record warm low temperature, just missed it by 1 degree. 107 and 83 are the averages for this time of year. We finished the month of June with 0.45 of an inch of rain in the bucket. That was above average for the month, but we're still way behind on precipitation for the year. And yeah, looking outside right now at 5:35 a.m., looks kind of eerie out there, doesn't it? We've got that blowing dust, and we're sitting at 93 degrees at Sky Harbor. Dew points creeping up a little bit to 52, relative humidity 25%, wind from the east-southeast at 13, barometer is rising. All right, checking the temperatures across the area this morning. Look, this is 5:30 in the morning. We're in the upper 80s to mid-90s across much of south central Arizona, including the Phoenix metro area. And these temperatures will once again be quite hot today. Yes, the dust and the clouds this morning may temper the heat just ever so slightly, but still expecting another sizzling hot day. Temperatures will be down a couple of degrees from where they were yesterday. The more pronounced downtrend in temps begins tomorrow and into Thursday. So what's causing all this blowing dust out there this morning? Well, checking the satellite picture here across Arizona and the southwestern United States, you can see what's happened over the last 20 hours or so. First, we've got that area of high pressure. Our subtropical high is now getting set up in that monsoonal position over the Four Corners region. The clockwise flow around that is bringing more of an east-southeasterly flow. And so as a result, showers and storms fired up over east central and southeast Arizona yesterday afternoon and last night. As those thunderstorms died out, those outflow boundaries from the storms pushed westward into south central Arizona, really kicked up the dust starting at about midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and pushed that into south central Arizona. Now it's over the western part of the state. And this will last for a little while longer, but this will start to dissipate. We'll still probably have some lingering dust in the air, a bit of a haze today. So not going to be the most pleasant of days air quality-wise here in the valley. But with that ridge sitting off to the northeast of us, again, right around the Four Corners, maybe drifting up toward Colorado with time, the flow will be favorable for getting those thunderstorms closer to the valley this afternoon. Here's the watch warning map. Got a flash flood warning over parts of southwest Indiana. We've got some flood watches over parts of West Texas. Heat advisories scattered about the west. It's another hot day up across the northwestern United States. Spokane, down toward Boise, Idaho, the Treasure Valley. Temperatures over 100 degrees there today. Now for us, we've got an extreme heat warning in effect again. That's through 8 p.m. this evening. That includes the Phoenix area as well as much of Maricopa and Pinal counties, as well as parts of northwest Arizona. But notice there, we also have a blowing dust advisory for places like Tucson and up toward Coolidge and close to Casa Grande. And you might say, oh, that's in effect right now. Actually, that is posted for 2 p.m. through 8 p.m. today, as we do expect showers and thunderstorms to kick up the blowing dust, especially in that favored dust corridor down there just southeast of the valley for I-10. So if you're planning on heading down toward Tucson later this afternoon, across especially southeast Pinal and Pima counties, be aware of that threat later today. All right, here's the convective outlook. We've got the slight risk of severe storms, level 2 out of 5 for places like Washington, Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York City. The marginal risk level 1 out of 5 from the deep south all the way up to New England, as well as over portions of the western high plains. In Arizona, most of the state's in the green. Thunderstorms are possible. Here in the south central deserts, any storms would be isolated in nature, but they could occur. The most likely impact that we would see from any thunderstorms here in the Phoenix area and the surrounding areas would be gusty winds, blowing dust, and some lightning. There could be a little bit of rain, though, but most of that is likely to stay east of us. The tropics in the East Pacific, we now have Hurricane Flossie on the board. And this is a Category 1 storm, maximum sustained winds 90 miles per hour, continues to move to the north and west, hugging the Mexican coast there. Eventually, this will head up toward the southern tip of Baja, make more of a westerly turn, and fizzle out as it does. Precipitation outlook valid through Tuesday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, not much, generally under 1/10 of an inch. We could see as much as 3/4 of an inch, maybe even 1 inch in some isolated spots across east central and southeast Arizona, the favored higher terrain areas along the rim as well. But whenever we show you this map, what do I always tell you? Your amount will vary because thunderstorms are like that. One neighborhood can get nothing. Another, a mile away, can get an inch. That's the nature of it, but this represents an average of what you'll see across the area. So what's going on with this weather pattern? It's kind of a weird morning out there. Are we going to see any monsoon thunderstorms here in the valley? Do we have any rain chances? Let's get to it right now. Questions. Let's find answers. Here we go. The models, the GFS. This is the 06Z run. It's valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon. This is the upper look at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet off the ground. High pressure will be drifting a little bit to the north and east toward Colorado. We've got this developing upper low to the west, and in the short term, this will actually help to give some added dynamics to the atmosphere today. So what it means down at the surface for the rest of the day today, some dust around this morning, some haze. Otherwise, we're mostly sunny and hot again. Highs 110 to 114. Record high for today, 115 degrees. Will be close, but we should stay shy of it. Widely scattered showers and thunderstorms firing up across the east central and southeastern portions of the state. But with that easterly flow, they should push toward the lower deserts. And there's a pretty good chance that at least the outflow boundaries from those storms make it into the valley. Our best performing guidance here, the ensemble guidance, suggests about a 70 to 80% chance that we'll see wind gusts to 35 miles per hour over the lower deserts, including Phoenix, later this afternoon and this evening. So obviously we're going to see at least some gusty winds and the likelihood of blowing dust probably after 5 p.m. Let me show you. This is our high resolution, one of our high resolution models. This is the 3-kilometer NAM. And this is at 6 p.m. this evening. This is the simulated radar product. And the radar probably doesn't look exactly like this, but it's got a few showers and storms trying to make it into the lower deserts. That's not really the important part. I know it is for most of you because you want to see rain. But these thunderstorms are going to be dying out as they come toward the drier air of the lower deserts. We just don't have the deeper monsoon moisture over our part of the state just yet. But as these thunderstorms start to fall apart, they're going to put out some gusty winds. They're going to come down off of the higher terrain and into the lower deserts. And that should generate, again, winds probably anywhere from just sustained winds, 12 to 25, but gusts to 35, maybe 40 miles an hour. We don't expect severe wind gusts, although whenever we have these storms coming in, you can always get a brief, isolated, severe wind gust. That's not out of the question. We can't completely rule that out, but generally this should just be a gusty wind event with patchy to maybe just areas of blowing dust, probably again after 5, 6 p.m., continuing through the evening hours. across the area. The best chance that you'll see that over the Central and East Valley in particular. There might be an isolated thunderstorm too. We got a 20% chance in the forecast, but again, the better chance of those for the East Valley. Places like Santan, maybe up towards Sun Lakes and Mesa and Apache Junction, perhaps as far west as Scottsdale and Tempe. We'll just have to see. But that's how it looks for this afternoon and this evening. Then for tonight, things should settle down in the late evening hours, and then overnight lows will mostly be in the 80s to low 90s. Another very warm night. And then for tomorrow, this is probably our best opportunity for precipitation. The ridge continues to sit just to the north and east of us. Still, we have the southeasterly flow. So, partly sunny with scattered afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms over the higher terrain, widely scattered storms possible over the lower deserts, including Phoenix. Put that chance of rain for tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, maybe peaking around 30% here in the Phoenix area tomorrow evening. And high temperatures tomorrow will be lower, around 104 to 108, due in part to increased moisture, another part to this trough that's off to the west of us, lowering the upper heights, weakening that ridge. As we go to Thursday, that trough, that upper low to the west, is unfortunately going to start to push further east. The flow aloft switches more out of the southwest. We start to dry out. We could still see a shower or storm around on Thursday. We're going to keep that slight chance in the forecast. And again, as that trough gets closer to us, the heights continue to fall off. Temperatures actually continue to drop, with highs only in the upper 90s to about 103 degrees, which I know doesn't sound that cool to most of you that would be watching from other parts of the country, but for us, that's kind of like an Arctic blast. I mean, we're going to be several degrees below average on Thursday. And again, considering the last couple of summers we've had in Phoenix, that's even better. All right, it's all relative, right? Here's Friday, Independence Day. And unfortunately, the flow turns west-southwesterly, and so we're dry. There might be an isolated storm over the higher terrain of eastern Arizona, but here in Phoenix, no chance of that. Sunny sky. High temperatures still in the upper 90s to about 104 degrees. We're going to warm it up over the weekend. Highs getting back to about 106, 102 to 106 on Saturday. Mostly sunny sky. Sunday, sunny and hot. Highs 107 to 111. As ridging starts to reestablish itself. Now, there's some good news to that. Signs are pointing toward the ridge drifting a little further to the north and turning the flow aloft more easterly as we go toward Monday of next week. The ridge gets pretty strong, though. Upper heights easily exceeding 594 decameters, so highs, again, probably 108 to 112, but at least some widely scattered showers and thunderstorms start to develop in the afternoon and evening hours. A few of those may make their way into the lower deserts. We'll at least put a very small chance of rain into the forecast for next Monday. All right, a week from today, this is Tuesday, the 8th of July. And the ridge now sits across northern Arizona, southern Utah. The flow is easterly. That's good news. Bad news, the ridge is still intensifying. Upper heights about 597 decameters. So it's sizzling hot here. Highs would easily be above 110, probably 110 to 115 for the hottest deserts. But widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms would be with us. The only problem is when a ridge is this intense, even if the flow aloft is somewhat more favorable for bringing thunderstorms off of the mountains into the lower deserts, the mid-levels of the atmosphere get pretty warm. That creates a rather stable environment. Sort of that capping inversion starts to happen. So thunderstorms have a hard time developing in that kind of an environment, or at least being sustained in that kind of an environment. So we'll have a small chance of storms, a low-grade monsoon, but at least that's something. It's better than nothing. So you can see the synoptic look there. Yeah, some widely scattered storms possible next Tuesday. This is Wednesday the 9th. And the GFS paints in a tropical cyclone down there off of the Baja, as it always does. The ridge is still kind of in a somewhat favorable position. You'd like to see it a little bit further to the north, but still easterly flow. Upper heights 594 to 597 decameters. We're still really hot, but we might still at least see some widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms here. And obviously, if there's any disturbances that rotate around that or any of these little MCVs that pop up, that could help to enhance thunderstorm development. Going out to the end of the forecast period, this is Thursday, the 10th. The GFS shows the ridge kind of meandering, maybe drifting a little bit to the west or northwest, maybe into southern Nevada with time. And that could make the flow aloft a little bit more northeasterly, which, if there are thunderstorms that develop over the rim country, they could be pushed toward the south central deserts. The upper heights come down just slightly, so temperatures would still be at least around 110. Maybe ever so slightly hotter than that, but at least there'd be a slight chance of storms. If this verifies, there's pretty decent agreement among the models that ridging will come back and set up somewhere over the southwest. But as always, the devil's in the details. All right, looking at rainfall for Phoenix. This goes out through the 15th of July. This is off the GFS ensemble. The mean's about 1/3 of an inch, with every member showing measurable rain over the next couple of weeks. The European AI ensemble, pretty much the same deal. Ensemble means about 1/3 of an inch. Temperatures off the national blend of models, sizzling hot today again, but we will see a downtrend in temps for the next couple of days. But then afternoon highs, after they fall to slightly below average levels on Thursday and start to recover Friday, we'll get to, once again, above average levels as we get into next week, maybe as early as Sunday, and continuing there for a while. And that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell. Leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you want to support the channel, please do. Click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube. Make that monetary contribution to us. Or even better, you can donate via PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is that PayPal address. It's groffshow@gmail.com for PayPal. Or you can Venmo as well. That's linked up down below. The executive producer in absentia of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona. Talking about my Michelle. Check her out. Blogs, videos, everything Michelle related, possibly Adriana related, all linked up down in the description. So do give that a perusal. Also, our streaming station. It's available 24/7, 365. It's called KMGX. Playing a ton of music, having a lot of fun over there, too. It is the most chaotic mix of music you will find anywhere online. That's a promise. So give that a listen, again, in the description, or you can go to kmgx.com and listen that way. Thank you guys so much for watching. All of your continued support. It is amazing. It is incredible. I could not possibly even think about doing these videos without you guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And stay cool, stay hydrated out there. Look at that. What a morning. And have yourselves a delightful rest of your Tuesday.